Yo, guys, wanted to talk about a huge potential matchup with rumors circulating of Michael Chandler and Paddy Pimblett. Guys, I love this matchup. I am fired up about this matchup. Paddy Pimblett, 6-0 in the UFC. He's on his way up. Keeps stepping up in competition, although he just fought Tony Ferguson. Tony Ferguson was the man back in the day. And, he went in there and handled business. I thought Tony was going to give him a harder time. Now we look at Michael Chandler, 38 years old, currently 2-4 in the UFC. Comes in, makes his UFC debut against Dan Hooker, has an incredible performance, gets the performance bonus of the night, wins. And then unfortunately, since then, he's only won 1 out of 4 fights, compiling a record of 2 wins and 4 losses. But guys, fought Charles Oliveira twice, fought Tony Ferguson, beat him. Then he fought Dustin Poirier, fought Justin Gaethje. I mean, this guy is a dog. Don't let his record fool you, and don't let his age fool you. Out of his 6 fights in the UFC, he's had 5 performance bonuses. This guy, like I said, this guy's a dog. He's right where he needs to be. But since he's older in his career, I think this is a great opportunity for Paddy. Now, I think Paddy is a huge underdog in this fight. When we talk about the striking, I believe Mike Chandler is much more dynamic. He's much powerful. He's much more powerful, and he's much faster on his feet. When we talk about the wrestling, Michael Chandler, Division I wrestler, although he doesn't use it very much in his fights, he can use it. And, if Paddy tries to get in those wrestling exchanges, I really feel Mike's just going to overpower him. Now we talk about the grappling, and this is where Paddy, I'm not going to say he has an advantage, but this is the closest spot to where he might be better. But then again, we look at Mike, he just fought Charles Oliveira, and to me, Charles is the best grappler at the lightweight division, and arguably maybe the best grappler ever at the lightweight division. In his last fight, he had Mike's back, had him in trouble a bunch of times with submissions, and, just couldn't put Mike away. So, unfortunately, I don't think Paddy is going to be able to put Mike away in the grappling department. Now, again, stepping up in competition, Paddy's 6-0. He hasn't fought a true guy in the top 5. Tony Ferguson being his last fight, I thought it was a great fight for him. Again, you got a guy in his downfall and this guy on the up and come, almost a passing of the torch. And, this could be one of those matchups, too, where you have Mike in the top 5, top 8 in the UFC. Paddy goes up there. And even if he doesn't lose, but say he loses a close decision, we can start seeing and gauging where this guy is in his career. I didn't really care for Paddy early on. I thought he was given some kind of easy matchups to build his record. But, again, taking on Tony Ferguson, I know you guys are going to say, oh, Tony sucks. He's lost 7, 8 fights in a row. But you guys forget, this guy was one fight away from being the champion. He was scheduled to go against, Khabib a bunch of times. And unfortunately, there's something happened with Khabib or with Tony. Unfortunately, after that reign, he's lost a couple fights in a row. And again, that gave the perfect matchup for this up-and-coming guy to go make a step up. And, I think Michael Chandler is another step in the right direction. Now, Paddy goes in there and somehow beats Michael Chandler. This is going to skyrocket him into the top 5 in the UFC and maybe 1 fight away from a title fight. I think he's going to be a plus 300 dog, maybe plus 350 in this fight. But guys, if this fight does get locked down, this is a huge opportunity for Paddy to show the world who he really is and where he belongs in the UFC. Tell me what you guys think.